Welcome back to this lecture. So as decided in the last discussion, we are going to create one config class or filter class which is going to implement once request per filter. So let me create in the security config itself. I'll create one class JWT filter, and this class is going to extends once request per filter. So it is having some implementation, so I have to override this do internal method. Okay, so this is the class that I was talking about, and this will be managed by the Spring itself, so I will mark it a component. So this method is taking three inputs: request, STT servlet request, STT servlet response, and filter chain. So this filter chain is one by one step it is going to handle the request and throwing exception. Okay, so first what I have to do, I have to find out is there any head, is there any word which start with the authorization, that is the header. Okay, so header means, if I show you here, so this is called headers. In header there are many keys, right? I have to find out one key, that is authorization. Okay, I have to read that value. So I'll write here final string auth header equal to request dot get. I have to pass authorization. Okay, so I got this header. Now I have to check whether this header is blank or not, start with some keyword. So I will write one if condition: if auth header is equal to null, or I'll use pipe, or auth header dot starts with, there is one keyword bearer. So this bearer, whenever you pass any token, so the token should start with the bearer, then only your request and response Spring Security is going to read that. So the format is that bearer space your token, your JWT token should be there. So first I'll find out, is there any, this must be starts with header bearer. If it doesn't start with, so I will throw some exception like this is invalid request, right? So I don't want to go ahead now. I have to return the the request. So what I'll do now, filter dot do filter request comma response, and simply I will make it return from here, because there is a problem in that. So this is one step we are done. So now what I have to do, if it is having the authorization, then I have to take that token. Based on the token, I have to find out the user information. So let's do that. So I told you the authorization start with bearer space the token. So I have to split this string after this character. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, there are 7 places. So what I write here, let me define one final keyword here, final string JWT. Okay, and I have to slice this, not JWT final, it should be okay. Let me keep right now like that. So JWT equal to auth header dot substring 7, right? So whatever the data, if is substring, which is divided into two parts now, and I am taking the initial, I mean 7th is the place index from where I am reading the data. So I got the token now, and this token is having my username, right? So let me define one, you can make it final now. I have to make it argument constructor, So this should work now. Yeah. So it is saying that you can't make it. Okay, let's bring it like that. Let's see. I am just want to make sure that it shouldn't be changed while processing. Anyways, so I will define one more parameter, string email. I mean, this is the username, we can say. So I will write here email equal to JWT is there, it is having the data. So there is a certain way to find out or figure out or extract the username. So I'll define that method in the service class. So what I'll do, I'll create one service class that is be JWT service, and I'll create this class now in the service. Here I will create one class. Okay, and I'll just import this, and I'll say give me the username from this token. JWT service dot get username, and this will I'll pass JWT method in that. Okay, so since this method is not available, so I'll go in the service class and I'll create one method. So you can try from here also, create one method. Okay, and let me create the method. So I'll write return. I have to extract the username, I have to pass the claim also. Okay, so get email, and I'll try to pass the JWT in that, comma, I have to find the claims also, claims, and this is having one method get subject. Okay, if you remember on the JWT site, jwt.io, it was their subject, and subject is the thing that is having the email. So I'll simply change this kind of camel case. Okay, I'll create this method again. Okay, and now I have to find out the email logic. So I have written all this method when I was doing this course, or recording this course. I have done all the things. So let me copy that all the methods. It's a very small methods. So I'll copy here and I'll explain that method. So if I go in the, I have kept this written, so I just copy this all method. There are 4 methods, right? I'll simply copy this and I'll paste it here. Right, so now what I'm going to do in this, I have to first all the imports I have to do, and decoders, keys, all these are libraries that are coming from the JWT itself. Okay, let me explain this here. So this extract name will return a type of T. First thing, I'll paste the extract all method also. Okay, already defined in the JWT service this method, so I'll remove this one method of this, it's not needed. Okay, so now let me explain this code. Let me make it a bigger screen. Okay, so what I'm doing now, so if you remember the JWT token structure, in the last part we are sending some signatures. So that signature is nothing but it's a secret key that is going to validate your JWT token, right? So what is happening there, so you can take any random key here. Okay, this is also sometimes called salt. So based on this secret key, and this secret key shouldn't be shared to anyone, so this is always a part of environment variable, it shouldn't be a part of code also. Okay, So what I'm doing, I'm just creating based on this secret key, I am getting the signing key. So I told you there are multiple kind of decoder we are having their own algorithm. So just is a very simple and standard way to create the keys, signing keys. So I'm passing the signing keys here and base 64, and this is converting this secret key in some bytes, and my keys class is having this taking the key bytes as a parameters and creating a signing key or signature key for me, which I am going to use, right? Okay, so the flow starts from here. I created one method which is taking the token as a the input, and this token is just I can rename this in the JWT filter here, so it will be same. Extract username, okay. And what I'll do here, so I am calling one method where I am passing all the claims. I told you claims in the object which is having all the credentials related data, whether it's a token or anything. Then based on that token, what I'm claiming here claims. So when you pass the token to this extract all claim, what it is doing there, if you see here, it is just parsing this token and setting the signing key, because without signing key you can't extract it. And once I am passing this token in the parse claim JWS, it is returning me the body. Body means the array that I remember if I showed you, where we are having a subject and some more information on that. So this claims is getting returned here. Then there is a claim reservoir class, that class is also I mean this is nothing but it's a subjects. I mean there are multiple keys in the subjects, you can say that. So this claim resolver is going to apply on the claims, and this is returning me the exact claims that I'm looking for. Okay, because I'm looking for what subject, this subject will be there. So this claims will find out only those information which is having the key subject. So there are many methods you can show here: get subject, get audience, get ID, get issuer, okay, get expiration date, okay, everything is there. So but I am interested in finding out the subject. So I've done that, and now I think we are ready with the changes that we are having, that I want to find out from the token. So I'll come back to here, and now I got my email from here. Now very simple, what I have to do, I got the email, I have to check the email in the database whether this exists or not, just like the older flow. Okay, so let me apply the null check. If email, or you can use string utils also, that is one good method. String utils dot has text email, and I also have to check like this email is already in the security context or not, because whenever your login is successful, we set the authenticated object in the security context. So whenever any new request is coming, first it should check the security context where that user is already logged in or not. If it is logged in, then it's fine, just allow the API to be accessed. Otherwise, authenticate the object and then set in the security context. So what I'll do is Spring security context holder, and this holder is a part of the Spring Security core framework, right? Dot get context dot get authentication, okay, dot you can find out one method over there, authentication, it should be null, right? If email is present and this authentication object should be null, right, then only I am going to authenticate the user again. Else I will bypass this. right? So let me do that now. So to find out the user, I need user detail service, right? So let me do that here. But I'm going to find out user detail. Okay, that will be this dot user. Let me create first, it will help me. User detail service. I created one object over there. This dot user detail service dot load user by username. My username is nothing but email, right? So I got the user detail. This video is going to be a little bit long because this implementation I don't want to break in the separate videos, so that the continuity should be maintained. So bear with me, you have to see a long video in this. Okay. So there are two things which you have to do. One thing is that user detail should not be null, and the token that we are getting here now, so that should be valid only, means I have to check whether it's expired or not. So these things I am going to do. So what I will write here, if one more if block, service dot is valid token, and in this token I'll pass JWT. Okay, and I have to check the expiration of the JWT token, and also I have to check this email that I'm getting from the token, and this user detail object that I'm getting from the email that I got. So this is also having the email, so I have to check whether these both emails are correct or not. It's just I'm ensuring that there shouldn't be any match, but it's a very rare case where this token email or DB email is not matching, because sometimes what happens, like suppose I created one token, but somehow in the database I changed my email, somehow it got updated. So in this user detail the email may be different, right? Or some may different data. So that's why I'm checking this. So I'll pass the whole user detail object in this. Okay, and then now I have to create one method in the service class. Okay, so there are two things. I have to check the expiration date, and I have to check the email one. Okay. So if you see here, I am finding I'm extracting the username from here, from the token, and this is a detail. So if user details dot get username, I'm having dot equal ignore case we can take, I think equal ignore case. Now I have to pass it whatever email is present in the JWT, right? So I'll just simply email equal to, I'll just call this method extract username, right? Extract username token I am passing equal to email So this is one thing I want to check, and before that I want to check the expiry of the JWT token. Okay, so if you remember, I have extract the claim here. So I want to find here subject. Now I want to find out the extract the expiration date. So I'll simply copy this method. Suppose let me copy here. So how I am taking the expiration, I am just let me import it. What I am doing here, I am passing the token and I am just getting the expiration key. So this, once I got the expiration key, I will extract the expiration as a date, and then I can check this, right? And this is valid token where what I'm doing this, I need this, and I have to check also expiration date. So if is token expired, JWT, this one block. Okay, this both should be true. So what I can do in the better way, I can remove this and I can add here as a AND operator, I think. Okay, so I will merge these two conditions together. That will be better approach. It will be looks like this. So I am extracting the username, okay, and then I am checking this username with the user detail username and checking also token is expired or not. Means whatever date is today, the expiry date should be before of that. Okay, so whatever date is coming, that expiry token should be before that today. So that's it, means that it is not expired. All right, so we are done with the methods. Now coming to the JWT filter, this valid token. So if everything is perfect, then only you can move ahead. So everything is good, then what I'm going to do, I will create one authentication token, and based on that token I am going to set that token in the Spring Security context holder, so that next time when any request is coming, that should have the authentication object in that. So what I'm doing here, I'm just creating one auth token. We have done this before also, and you have seen in the implementation classes also. And this token is what I'm doing, I'm just setting the the details of the based on the request in this auth token, and this auth token is nothing but its authentication object that is gets set in the authentication security context holder. So the positive flow or the flow that we want, we are done with that. What to do in the else part, where email is not available or something, this is breaking, this if condition is getting broken. So what will you do now? So explicitly you don't have to do anything, it will be handled by the Spring Security itself. After this work, I ask the filter chain to go to the next filter dot do filters request comma response. So this was the all code changes that I was expecting. I have done that. So this is a very big class, very critical programming. So we have to learn this step, and most of the things like creating the JWT setting, this is very common steps. So it's just like it's not going to change if you are using a Spring Security. So we are done with this. So now it's time to run. So we are going to do that part in the next lecture, because this lecture is already very big. So we'll do the testing part in the next session. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. Just try to focus on this code and try to write by yourself. Okay, until then, bye. Let's meet in the next section.